Hi guys, this is Joseph from Jouleconcepts. How are we doing today? All right, so in this video series, it's going to be a three-part series. So we're going to look at how to model this can from scratch, texture it, UV unwrap, and then light, and then render this. You will have similar thing as you can see on my screen. By the end of the day, while you're done with the tutorial, you should be able to do this from scratch. All right. So, but before I get into the tutorial, I would like to implore you to please like and share, make comment for future tutorials you might want. And if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe because I do tutorials like this every day. So without taking much of your time, let's get into the first part of this tutorial. Okay, so I'm going to just go with the general and then I'll delete the cube. If I go to my scene setup to my units, and then I'm going to be changing this to centimeters. That's just what I want to do. So I'm going to put a description to this website where I'm going to put a link to this website in my description so you can also get a reference to work with. I'm just working with this in order for me to have a sense of the size, right? So I want to bring this to Photo Blender. So I'll just quickly do a screenshot of this image. Then I can take it to Blender to continue working. So do a screenshot like so. All right, so I can just head over to Blender. So the thing is, before I do anything, I'm going to be creating this in, I'm going to put in this reference image in a particular view. So I will go to my front view and then I will shift A and then look for image. You see this option that says image as a reference plane. If you don't have this loaded, just go to edit preferences and just type image. You will see import or export image as reference plane. You need to enable that. All right. So I'll shift A, images as reference plane, and then I will go to the location where I have that. So I think here in my screenshots, and this is the image. And I'm just going to load that. And we'll have this image shown. But now, the problem now is I'm not seeing the image because I'm in solid mode. If I go to texture, I'll start to see this, but I don't want to be in texture. I want to be in solid and work. So while I'm here, I'll just click on this. You see option that says texture. Then you can have that texture in this view, right? So I will go to my front view. I want this to be rotated in my front view. So RZ, and then I'm just going to type 90 degrees. And that is the first screenshot. And I'm going to duplicate it, then rotate it about my um, x-axis. And I'll just come this way, minus 90. Then I have that image. Okay. So I want to work from my center, so that's why I'm having this. So I'm going to select this and just move this up. I actually need to okay, I'll just select this, only this one, and GZ, move it such that it is on the floor. If I go to this wireframe, you can already see what's happening. G and Z, I want it to sit on the floor like that. And then for this one, I want this to be here. So I just go to the top view, G, and then I'll just move only this somewhere here. All right. Okay. So I already have my model that I'm going to be using now. So actually want this to be to the side instead of a sectional view. Okay. So this is good. So I can go back out. So I have made everything that is required. I've arranged them, and I think I am good to go. All right, I'm good to go. So I'm going to start by looking at the dimension. So if you see the dimension right there is actually flipped. So this is 120, this 6.62 centimeter in terms of the diameter, and the height is 12.2. All right. So here I think I'll just rotate this one more time. RZ, sorry, X. I want to see, this is minus 180, and RY. So I'm trying to make sure this is shown properly. Yeah. So this is 150. So sorry. RX 180. All right. So this is now looking out well. So I just need to flip this because this is how it's actually meant to be. So I'll select this RZ, go this way, and then I'll just put 180. So this is how it should be. So I'll position this now right here. All right, so this is just the preliminary stage of making the whole model look um, arranged properly, basically. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I have this done, and then I can start modeling. So if I hit Shift A, I'm bringing my mesh cylinder. And remember, the height is meant to be 12.2, and then the diameter is meant to be 6.62 thereabouts, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see. All right, so the diameter is 6.62, and then this guy's height is 12.2. So here, this is the radius, not the so we are putting this in the radius value instead of diameter. So I'm just going to divide this by 2. That will give us the right design. All right, thereabouts. So I'll have this and put this on the side. So I'll just duplicate this and put that on that side so that I can work with this. And once I'm done modeling, I'll just scale this down. I don't want to scale this down, so that's why I want to do this. So I'll just go to edit mode for this, and then I'll start modeling. Go to X-ray mode, select this, and then I can move this all the way here. Select this and then move this somewhere here. Okay, I'm thinking this should be here. Yeah, actually. And then A to select all, Z, and then Shift Z so that I can like just scale everything here. So while I'm pressing Shift Z is so that while I'm scaling, I'm not scaling along the height, I'm only scaling along the X and Y axis. You can see that. So the next thing I'm going to do is, so don't worry about this. All right, so I'll just be making use of one of the end, all right, to work. Just want to have a rough size. So Control R to add the loop cuts, click it all the way here, and I'm going to add another loop cut somewhere here, click it somewhere here. So I'll select this whole loop, then I'll just scale this down. So again, I'm following this, all right, and I'm also going to select this. Make sure you're in your X-ray mode. And because if you are not in your X-ray mode and you select this, it will not select the back. All right. So that's why you have to be in your X-ray mode. So if you miss that for here, you have to make sure you undo that and go through the normal process. I'll just scale this in, and let's just say something here. I can move this all the way here. Scale out like so. Then I can extrude this downwards. Okay, so I'm done with that. So I'll select this whole loop and I'll just scale this out a little bit. E for extrusion, then I'll extrude this out like this. Or okay, I'll just extrude a little bit out. Then I'll scale that extrusion out. Then another extrusion to go all the way up like so. And that's basically it for that part. So if I go to the top view, I should have a similar thing there. You can see that. So I just need to do the inner extrusion. So I'll just do I. So while this top is selected, okay? So I'll just do I for inner extrusion. And then I will extrude this inwards a little bit. So at this point, I am more like, okay. So what I'll just do next is just do another eye for inner extrusion to the point where I'm on that edge. All right, so it's very important. I'm on this surface. Okay, that's what I want to do. Let me scale that out a little bit. I want to do one more inner extrusion so that I can have a supporting edge loop. Okay, so while I'm done with that, the next thing is just to shape this out. All right, so this is good. And then I think this as well. I'll move this in, select this, and hold down shift to select that loop. Move this in, scale this in like that. So that's what I'm going to do till I get the overall shape, right? Select that and that. Scale this in like that. Select this one and then this. So I'm just getting the overall shape out till it gives me more like what I'm looking for. Select that and this. Scale this in, this and this as well. Scale. So I don't want to do them separately. I want to be sure that what I'm having on one side is what I have on the other side. That's why I'm selecting both points, both opposite points, right? So select this and that. Scale this in, this. Scale that in as well. This, this. Scale this in, this and that. Scale in, and then we are good. You see that we have everything that we want, and everything is looking nice. So if I go here and I go out, you see this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to select this whole face. I'm going to be doing an extrusion, but before I do that, let's just have a sense of this, how it's going to look like. So actually I want to go out again just to have a kind of a reference as to how that and should look from the top. Okay, so let me see this. I think I have okay, so I got some reference from shoulders. Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to see the one that kind of look like what I am trying to recreate. All these ones are more like line, they're not. And this doesn't have a 3D. Okay, so this is how it looks like in 3D. Okay, so expected to so I'm supposed to extrude this inwards. Okay. All right. So even though you see that this place now I'm supposed to go in down, but let's just get this out of the way. So I'm going to select the face mode and pick this face, and then I'm just going to extrude this inwards a little bit, just a little bit of an extrusion is fine. So what we're left with is just this. This is a separate object. So for this one, this is what I'm left with. So what I'll just do is also, if you look at this as well, it goes in by itself. So I don't want to do insert, so I'll just use my knife tool to do that. So you can see your knife tool right here. So I'll just click and follow this loop. Okay, so I know this might I'm still going to remove some parts, all right? Might not be good in terms of geometry because normally you're supposed to follow hit spacebar, supposed to follow a particular loop all through. So um, but I will see what I can do. So I'll just move this to this point so that I'll be able to have some of these objects aligning, and the ones that are too much, I'm going to move. All right. So I'll say this is here, this is here. So while I'm doing this is I will be joining this and that and that. So I'll just start with my knife tool and connect this to this. Hit spacebar. Knife tool, connect this to this. Hit spacebar. Okay, for knife, you need to finish it up by hitting spacebar. So okay, for knife, this connects to that. Spacebar, knife tool, this connects to this. So another thing is I want to follow the look because right now this looks too close. So I will get that solved in a bit. So let's just okay for knife. If you miss that, might not work. So okay again. This to this. Hit spacebar. Okay for knife. Click point to point. Spacebar. So we have a loop, all right? We have a loop that goes around. So all I just might want to do is select these points and just move them around. Select these points and move so that I just have something that I hope you get the idea what I'm trying to do. So we have this. So now I can, I just want to have a cut somewhere here. Knife, cut this here. And I can now go to my face mode, select this face, and then just extrude this inwards a little bit. Oh, sorry, before I do the extrusion, sorry. I'm going to have a supporting edge, and the reason is by the time I put this into subdivision surface, I want it to be smoothened. So I'll just one inner extrusion and then E to now bring this in. So while I have this done, to further accentuate that stuff, I'll just do another inner extrusion to just have that done right there. So right now, this is what we have at the moment. And if you look at this guy from here, if you notice the down part, we will want to do this part as well. So let's quickly do this. Just select our face and then do an insert, and then I can extrude this all the way up. but not up to this point, because remember, we don't want that extrusion to get to this end. So just stop somewhere here. Okay. And if you notice, this is not straight, so I'll just scale this a little bit down. Then I for insert, and basically that's what I need. So if I go to object mode and I remove this, right click, auto shade smooth, still doesn't look nice. So we'll just put this into a modifier called subdivision surface. And this will try its best to get this. This is not bad, but we can further bring this up. So here I can move this to this back. Okay, sorry. So if I go to our edit mode as well, not on this object, on the cube. And the reason why this is curved is because this edge is not I'm not adding that tension here. So if I hold down Alt and click and then Control B for bevel, you can bevel that part. Just have one subdivision there, and I'll do the same thing for this edge as well. Control B, take this out a little bit, and you can see that the top is beginning to look more like it. And for the base, see that I want to have that sharp edge as well. So I might need to select this edge, but now it's hard for me to even see the edge. So I can just come to my modifier and just click on this first icon here for me to see the edge. If I click on the edge now, Control B, just move this on a little bit, just very small. And then I will see that playing out well for me. And also, I want to pick that point, so I can temporarily turn this off. Select this edge and this edge as well. And then I will bevel that, Control B. Just small beveling, really doesn't, and do the same thing for here, Control B. Just small beveling for me to be able to see. So I'll just bevel all of these guys so that I can, because right now if you see, it's still not sharp edged. So you see that I want to accentuate that, Control B, and then bring this in like so. And so this place is also not really showing me this. See what is not defined. So that's where that beveling comes. Let me hide this. Select this loop. You see that the reason why we had to follow the loop so that by the time we're beveling, it will be easy for us to see. So Control B, just move beveling, and do this for this loop as well. I'll try to hold down Control and click. We'll follow my loop. Control, click, Control, click. So I have that whole section. Control B, and then I have that bevel. So let's check. If I put on my subdivision surface, you can see you're having that detail, right? As I want. Okay, so another thing I noticed is, see, this is curved instead of what I have here. So what I'll just do is go to edit mode. I will select this guy and this. I'm going to press X key on my keyboard, and I'll dissolve the edges, and I'll do them again so that I can space them apart. So I'll Alt click, Shift Alt and click this, leave the edge, X, and then dissolve edges. So I'll now go back to this and that. And then I'll do Control B, move this out more so that it can be wider. Maybe I want to reduce this. I can add one actually. So we just need to increase that, and that will give us that round edge that we need, right? So the only thing left is just this point, which we saw here. Okay, So I can select this loop by just going to my face mode and select this loop. And I just going to extrude this in, right? If extrusion, I want this to extrude inward one more time and go out, and that will give me that section. See that? So basically we're done with the main shape. So we're left with the top. So let's quickly do that. Again, I'll also go back here to see so I can see the way it looks. So I'm going to be using a separate shape for this. All right. So I will, sorry, I'm having cough. So again, while I'm in my object mode, I'm going to do, actually, I need it to be part of the same object. So I'll be in my edit mode and go into my X-ray. And then I'm going to Shift A, or I can just come down here while I'm in my edit mode and I can create this cube. And what this will do is that it's going to add a new cube shape or put it as part of the same object with this. So that's what will happen. So I'm going to new shape, draw this like so, move my mouse up a little bit. Yeah, that's thickness is fine for me. So now that I have this, I want to start to shape this out. So I'm going to go to my move tool, move this to the center like so. And then I'll just add a little bit of loop cuts to help me put this in the right position and add one loop cut here. Click. Sorry, Ctrl Z. I'm going to add maybe 3 loop cuts for now. And then I can start positioning this guy. So if I go to my point mode, I can select this point and move this here. Select these 2 points, move them. Select that point, move right here. So I'm going to kill this out like so. Scale that out just to follow that shape. So you see why it's very important to learn working with reference. It will really save you. It will save your life, really, basically. So I will, so this guy, I'm going to select this point, move this here. I will reposition a couple of these points. So I'll move this here and then scale out. Don't worry about the shape as you're going to add them into subdivision. So I'm thinking this should come up a little bit and scale in. These two should be scaled out and something like that. I want to move this up, move this also a little bit up, and just try to have a spacing that looks even though it can't be even. But we have that on. So the next thing I would want to do is here, you notice here, I missed this, but we can quickly add a loop cut somewhere here so that we can have this, or I can just move this right here and then move this down, scale in. All right, so we have this. So why I'm doing this is because I want to select these points, and then I'm going to Control B for bevel. And notice as I'm moving, nothing is happening. And the reason is because beveling usually tries to work on edge. All right. So once you finish your bevel, you see this menu come up. Click it and switch from edge to vertex, and then you see the vertex. So I can reduce the width. And now look at the size. So what we can do is we can come to the shape and start to change the shape. And this will give us this stuff. All right. So we have that done. The next thing will now be for this as well. All right. So I'm going to move this and scale them out. And what I'm trying to do right now is to try to get the overall curve of this, and then I will scale. Okay, maybe this might not, I might leave this here, just move this one a little bit up. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I can also add knife cuts for this, so it doesn't really matter. So I'll just quickly do this as well, scale this out and put this a little bit in. And so even though I missed something here, so but then we can quickly add one loop cut here, and just to use that to put that cut. I can move this right here. And I actually want to move this out or like that. Then move this here. So I can just get a sense of that shape. Select these 2 points, move them up like so. So we have this. And so we have the overall shape for this guy. So this is actually meant to be um cut out. So if I go to face mode, you can select these faces. So I'm looking at these points. I need those 2 points, and then this point as well. So you can see those, they are showing more like the top and the back faces. So once I have this, let's first go to edge mode. So I'm going to do an insert for both of them, I for inserts. And now once I've done that, I'm going to right click. You'll see bridge faces. It's going to cut them open. And I will do the same for this guy. First go to X-ray mode, select those 2 points. This, this, and then this. And again, I'll do an insert, I for insert. So after that, right click, bridge faces, and we have that. Let me be sure that that should be cut out. So you see, it's not supposed to be cut out. All right. So I'm going to undo that. Control Z. So instead, I'm going to extrude this, just this top. After my insert, just E for extrusion and another E for extrusion, so that I can have that top part. All right. This is good. So another thing also notice that if you look at this shape, it's defined, all right? Mine is trying to be smooth, and I don't want that. So I'll just go around this edge, go to edge mode, select this edge, loop, just select this whole loop, and then Control B to bevel that part. And I'll do the same thing for the bottom. You can quickly turn this on to show the edge loop. Or I can turn off my, and then I can go into it. Okay, I think everything is selected now. I'll also Control B, just small everything. So also notice the shape. Actually forgot for that top. Let me undo that so you see what happened. Control C, Control Z, 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 Z. All right. So if I bevel this now, you can see what's happening. Instead of it beveling in, it's beveling, instead of it beveling out, rather, it's beveling in. And the reason is because remember we changed our shape. So I'll just take this back to 0.5 to bevel it out. All right. So please, very important to note that. So I will right click, hold down Alt and Shift to select these guys. Okay. And then Control B to bevel this. And then we have this done. So the only thing left is this part, and then we'll just end this class here for the next video. So let's just quickly do that. This is meant to cutting, all right? So let's quickly use our knife for that. So I will use my knife, K for knife. I'll just click somewhere here, here, here. I just want to follow the shape, right? Doesn't really matter if it's perfect. I'm not deforming the shape anyway, so hit spacebar and I will, okay, sorry. So I'm thinking I want to add a chord somewhere here. So let's just add a chord here. Okay, so I will create just K to add a chord from here to here. Hit spacebar, K again, add the same chord from here to here, spacebar. And the reason is that I'll select these 2 points and then I can just scale them out. So notice um we missed that, but that's not a problem. So we can just do that later on. Let's undo, not undo rather, and just hit. Okay, so I missed the down parts. Okay, so while I was doing this, I did not add that cut downwards as well. So I missed this place. So I guess I will just make do with what I have. So instead of cutting this in, I will just okay, let's see if I scale this out like so. So I have this, so I can just go and select that face and go to face mode, select these faces. All right. Okay. So I'll select that face and use my eye for inserts. Okay, so once I have that done, I'll just do my, let me come here. E for extrusion, just extrude this downward a little bit. Sorry, another eye for inserts. So let's come all the way, go out, select this and put on this. Okay, so maybe this is another one that we have here. So you see that. Okay, so we have this. So I can select this guy right here by pressing L to select only this connected loop, and I can just move this up such that there's not two intersecting with this shape. Okay, so that's right there. So I'm going to stop this tutorial here. And if you feel this was helpful, please do give me a like and a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe. Let's just see you on the next video. You have a wonderful day and God bless you. Bye.